Who are the MPs we are expecting to get the nod from the new Prime Minister?
Well, everyone in Ottawa has been playing cabinet speculation for the last 2 weeks, and thankfully it's coming to an end on Wednesday when the Governor-General will swear in Justin Trudeau as the 23rd Prime Minister. Every single Prime Minister has to follow a number of conventions, balancing off different regions of the country, balancing off different, cultural diversity, making sure there's a mix of veterans and fresh faces. But this cabinet is going to be smaller than Stephen Harper's. Stephen Harper had a cabinet of 40 people. This is going to be between 25 and 30. And also he made a big promise about having gender parity, so an equal number of men and women. So let's take a look at some of the male candidates who are expected to be in cabinet. Stéphane Dion, a familiar face. He was a former leader of the party, former Environment Minister, and some people think he might actually be a good fit for Environment Minister going forward. Bill Morneau from Toronto, CEO of Morneau Chappelle, a very large human resources firm. The thinking there is perhaps a finance or economic-based portfolio. There's Jean-Yves Duclos, a Quebec economist, and in Edmonton, Amarjeet Sohi, who has been a city councillor. Then we look, and of course this list is by no means exhaustive, Michael. When we look at women going from west to east in Vancouver, there's Jody Wilson-Raybould, a former Crown prosecutor and regional chief for the BC Assembly of First Nations. Chrystia Freeland in Toronto. International trade is seen as something that might be a good fit for her. Karen McCrimmon was the first female Air Force commander in Canada. She's from the Ottawa area. And then in Labrador, Yvonne Jones. She served as the provincial Liberal leader and also served as a fisheries minister. So those are just some of the names that are being referred to. And
of course, we'll know more by Wednesday when everyone is sworn in. That all said, on the other side of the aisle, the Conservatives are also talking not so much about cabinet, but more about interim leader.
Yeah, exactly. This is more of a low-key race for sure going on. They're meeting on Thursday, and defeated MPs and elected MPs are going to meet together to vent and to vote. The venting is interesting. One of the candidates actually for interim leader sent out not a news release, but an email to his colleagues, and this is the kind of venting that we're going to hear on Thursday. They're saying that the Conservative ads in the election in tone were easy to confuse with life insurance and pre-planned funeral ads. A lot of criticism there. So looking at the people who have publicly declared themselves as candidates, Mike Lake and Rona Ambrose from Alberta. From Ontario, there's Diane Finley, Rob Nicholson, and Aaron O'Toole. In Manitoba, we have Candice Bergen. And then we heard an interesting proposition last night. It was reported that Denis Lebel from Quebec and Michelle Rempel from Alberta are proposing a sort of joint leadership that would look at different genders, the regional, sort of solve some of the regional problems, French, English, and have kind of the older and younger face together. All of these candidates have been critical of the last election campaign, and all of them say that the future leader and future interim leader needs to communicate a more positive tone and talk more about policy instead of politics.